Hello, Bread fans. This is Jay of Insane Coaster Junkie, and welcome to episode 3 of Right on Track, where we get right on track to business here. And in this podcast, we are going to try a new series here of interviews. I made a list, basically, of people who I would potentially interview about their coaster career or their video projects or whatever that revolves around the amusement industry. I am proud to say today, I'm not going to waste any time, I am proud to announce my first guest on Right on Track, my good friend Gabe Markley, aka Gilbert221.
Hello everyone, I'm glad to be here. Back on the channel and on the podcast. It's been a while, so I'm really excited for today.
So, for the viewers that are listening, on the road or whatever, how they get their podcasts, explain about yourself and who you are.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure we'll get into it more in depth later on, so I'll just do a quick little summary. But I've known Jay for quite some time. We go way back from Waldameer. We used to go there, make videos together. I have a YouTube channel too. The name has changed. It used to be Gilbert221, which is what I used to go by. But later on, I changed it to just Gabe Markley, which is my name. I post a bunch of different videos, but I've kind of rechanged it this year to make it more no limits oriented. I do a lot of no limits coasters, and I'm trying to get into more videos about 3D printing, stuff like that. But yeah, I've known Jay for a long time. Him and I and our good buddy Coaster Films, we used to always make videos together, and it's been a while since I've been on the channel, so it's glad to be back here, and it feels nostalgic, like old times again.
Yeah, it kind of does feel like old times. It's like 2016 all over again, but 9 years later, we're in a different medium. I mean, I'm still doing my channel, you're still doing your channel, and somehow Jared is still doing his channel. So if you look at the three of us, we're still pushing out content, but just in different mediums. You got No Limits, Jared's more switched to Metro content, and then I'm kind of just still doing what I love.
Exactly. It's like we've each changed, but I feel like our roots are still the same, which is crazy. It's been, I know it's been over 10 years for you, but coming up on 10 years for Jared and I, and we're still chugging along. So honestly, if you would have told me 10 years ago that I would still be posting on the channel and that all three of us would be, I would say you're nuts, but here we are.
Alright, so we're going to go unhinged, and I have a series of questions we're going to discuss here. So buckle your seatbelt and pull down your lap bar and enjoy your ride on Ravine Flyer 2. Let's get this bread. And for the first question here, we're going to start simple here. And we're going to go back to the roots. How did you come across my channel, and why was this important to you?
Well, I got to think way back. I remember I was a wee little lad, a big coaster enthusiast, a big Waldameer enthusiast, but there wasn't a lot of content about Waldameer ever. It was like, I don't know, Waldameer just wasn't really on the maps yet. They had Ravine Flyer in 2008, so they got a little bit of traction there, but on YouTube, there wasn't a lot of big Waldameer YouTubers, so to say, that at least I watched. But my buddy Jared, who we mentioned before, we started going to school together. I believe it was 5th grade. Yeah, it was 5th grade. We just met up. He just showed up in my class one day. I thought he looked cool, seemed cool, so I sat next to him, found out he was a big coaster enthusiast, like myself, and so we just started talking nonstop. Then he told me about Insane Coaster Junkie, which at the time was Cedar Talek.
Oh god, not that name. What the hell? I had that name back in middle school. Jesus.
Yeah, it was, and I was in elementary school, so it was. So yeah, Cedar Talek. He told me about his channel. I looked it up and watched all of his videos. Him and Wingnut.
Oh god, yes.
Cool
remember when I started my channel? I was in 8th grade, and I remember you. That was the next year, so I was in 9th grade. You guys were in 7th. Oh god.
Yep. Yeah, a long time ago. But I remember just thinking it was cool seeing my home park on YouTube, and I guess one day I think Jared and I were there, and we saw him filming with his pink iPad that he used at the time.
I don't even have that tablet anymore. That thing broke in 2021.
But we remember seeing him, and it was like seeing, for us, for some reason, it was like meeting, like, my idol.
It was like meeting it's like meeting Mr. Beast or something.
Yeah, like, because I was so young, and like, he had all these subscribers at the time, which just seemed super impressive to me. And then to see him like off down the midway, for us, we were kind of scared at first, so we kind of stalked him. Like, just to be blunt about it, we walked around the park just following him around, and then once we had the guts to walk up, we went and introduced ourselves, and then it just went on from there.
You fucking stalker.
Yeah, we were like so nervous, I remember, and so like, I think
God, you're
Jared
like
was
chasing
the
my
one who was
tail.
"Let's
You're
go
like,
say hi."
you and Jared were like the paparazzi trying to chase me
We
down.
were.
So why was this important to you? This is the second half of the question.
Oh yes, this was important to me because it kind of gave me the motivation to go out and do my own, I guess, like, amusement park content. I started at Waldemere, I got a GoPro, and once I found out like you can take those on rides, like, I started filming some GoPro videos, and posting those on my channel. And I noticed with that, I started gaining a lot more traction. And I think since the coaster community on YouTube is so small, I think a lot of people who are into the subject dive deep into everything. So you have a small community, but like they seem to like get around to everything. But like we would see something that, you know, Jay would do something and I would be like, oh, that was cool, maybe I should try something, or that gives me an inspiration to try this. So then we would all work off each other, and I think like the Waldemere versus Dorney turned into the W3 and like stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, it kind of just went back and forth with each other, and I liked it. So, which leads me to my second question here. This actually goes hand to hold, as we say. What influenced you to make roller coaster content in the first place?
Something about like during the off season, I would get real sad, and there was nothing to do when it came to roller coasters.
Because if you don't know, we're from Erie, and we're known for bad snow, so there's like nothing to do.
Yeah.
Unless you want to pay an arm and a leg for Splash Lagoon, there's nothing
Exactly. And that it's like Splash Lagoon is fun with slides. Like I went to Kalahari a lot, and that would give me something fun to do. But like, we didn't have any roller coasters around here unless you wanted to go to Florida, so, or like just down south anywhere.
Right.
So I would just get like down in the dumps, and I would like watch videos online, and that's kind of what kept me occupied because I didn't have a good computer at the time, so I couldn't play games like Roller Coaster Tycoon. I know could run on anything, but I only had like a laptop, and I didn't even get that until much later. So I didn't have access to games like that. So I would watch Jared, like I'd go over and sit next to him, and he would play, you know, No Limits and whatnot, and so that inspired me to get into No Limits. So then, you know, with the being introduced to new technology and whatnot, that's kind of what I guess pushed me through the door of No Limits content, GoPro content. You know, I've seen other GoPro videos online, like I want to see if I can do that. So just getting influenced by other people doing similar stuff, I guess, is kind of what made me want to do it.
Do you know, like,
just in my own
people
style.
that, like, do you know, like, in detail, like, I mean, I'm not going to say, like, specific videos. Do you know, like, specific content creators you grew up watching come to mind?
Coaster Studios was a big one. I loved his coaster parodies. Honestly, I would even go onto the Waldemere YouTube channel and just watch Waldemere videos, or Coaster Kids I'd watched a lot. They were a big one.
Oh yeah,
Honestly,
Logan
I would say
Joyner.
they were probably the main one. Yeah, they were, I think, one of the main ones. Theme Park Review I was always into.
Oh yeah, that was one of my big ones, especially Rob Alvey and his character.
And then much later on, like, I've gotten into other people, like Ryan the Ride Mechanic. I've been real into lately.
Yeah. And I'm more into like Canopy Coaster and Airtime Thrills and stuff like that. So each of us have our own like different types of content creators. it's kind of, the same niche community we've grown to love, but it's just different aspects of it. You're more of like the technical side, and then I'm more of like the tourism side.
I like, I definitely like watching videos of like things people create in like different parks. Like I earlier today I was watching your Idlewild Park video because I haven't been to Idlewild since I can remember. And just seeing videos like that, like of old parks, it's like nice that it's so accessible nowadays.
Yeah, and it was good. I mean, on a side note here, I mean, Idlewild was a good park to get to. I've been trying to fight for that park for years to get to, and then once I did, I'm like, why the hell did I even visit it? Because if you look at it at face value, it's a children's park. It's not for our demographic.
No, for sure.
But considering one of the first words in that video is "fuck the children," you know it's going to be an ICJ classic when I turn a children's park into a meme paradise.
I mean, to continue on that, like I think it's real cool, especially how much YouTube has grown the past 10 years, how, a park like Idlewild, which I completely forgot even existed. I could just like find a video and sit and watch and be like, oh, like in a matter of a couple minutes. And then there's so many like different parks that I never even think of exist. Like Marineland's like one, like these small parks. It's like so cool that there's like Conneaut Lake was one.
That was one of the better ones back in the day.
Yeah. It's just nice that there's like actual history that's kind of like cemented in, like you can
and that's
go back
that's what I liked about my channel, focusing more of like the small town crowd and looking at the little niche parks. I mean, if you look at the stuff I filmed last year, Idlewild, Seabreeze, stuff like that, it's just finding these small obscure parks that have a lot of charm to them. And that's kind of where, and you know where it all started?
Their legacy.
Waldameer. That's where it all started.
Yep. We'll never forget that.
So, yeah, even looking like big parks you did SeaWorld Orlando and Busch Gardens way back.
Yeah, those were the first big parks I did, yeah.
And then I went to Florida last year.
Yeah, which I plan on going back this year.
I mean, if you've seen that vlog, you can tell like how I went all out with that video.
Yeah, and I mean, it was nice. Like, I like doing the vacation vlogs. That was another thing that I did for a little bit because I like showing different things. And honestly, it was for my own, I would say for my own pleasure rather than for my viewers. I know that sounds a little selfish, but it was like going on vacation. I liked filming the vacation, not only to upload a video, but then like, to this day, I go back to some of those vacation vlogs, and although they're not public, I like to watch them and like, oh, I remember that vacation. Like that was fun. It's like a own little time capsule.
Like you told me, of Ocean City or whatever you went to.
Yeah,
it's just fun memories.
Ocean City. Yeah, I grew up going to Ocean City, and it's like it was nice having those videos because I think I have like 3 series of, and then I had a Florida series of vacation vlogs too. So a lot of vacation vlogs.
And pretty much
and
every
vacation
park
vlogs,
is a
I think,
vacation.
is where I'm pretty sure the vacation where the Busch Gardens in SeaWorld video originally was originally part of the vacation vlog, which I then uploaded their own like separate videos later. So, yeah.
Next thing you know, I got a wrist mount of Mako, and I'm just living life.
Yeah.
Everything graduates. The advancement of YouTube in the past 10 years is just outstanding. I mean, you go from like small freelance people, and then now you have some of them that have it as their full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me, I have a full-time, I have like a career job. You got a job. But we still treat these as hobbies. I don't plan on going corporate or like bare bone, but I still want to keep the fun of it,
It's a hobby that like I would be open to gaining more, I guess, viewers and stuff. Because who doesn't want more subscribers? Like, it's always fun.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, numbers are just an analytic.
Yeah, And at the end of the day, if you're not enjoying it, then it's like, that's why, coming back, I don't like to have a set schedule, just because, like, just for my own enjoyment. I don't like to pile too much on my plate, especially being in college and whatnot.
We're just people in our early 20s just getting through life. When one begins, one ends, because for my next question, what was the reason you ended the first era of Gilbert 221 in 2019? It was kind of like the end of the year. You had that last NHL live stream and kind of just quietly rode into the sunset. What was the reason you ended it then, and why?
And that live stream, I'm surprised you remember that. That wasn't even like much of a planned thing, and none of it was planned. What ended it was, looking back at the date, the last video I posted was August 19th, 2019, and
that live stream was uploaded December 2nd.
Yeah, so I did come back a couple months later as like I was putting my foot in the ground. I'm like, this is me saying goodbye. Like, it wasn't anything special. It was just a quick live stream. But in terms of the videos, I remember that time I was a junior in high school, and just like more personal stuff was going on. I know I was dealing with a heartbreak at the time, and just things were changing. I was just like not into it as much anymore, and I felt like I was just down in the dumps a lot more. I felt a lot sadder, and we were going into the off season then, because it was August, and it was just like, I always get sad going into winter, especially like being from Erie. It gets dark ridiculously early. It's 3:30 right now, and it's sunset.
And I went to college too. That was the other thing.
And like, you were going to college. Everything was changing. Like, all my friends were leaving. Everything was changing. So I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I quit. But then, I left for 5 years. Pretty much over 5 years. Because my next video uploaded after that was August 29th, 2024. And that inspiration came from Card Cody, who I don't know if many people probably don't know him, but he's a YouTuber, but he streams No Limits, and he likes to build No Limits coasters and upload them. And I thought that was really cool, and I was getting into No Limits, and I was building a lot more coasters at the time. I was like, how about I take what I create and upload them and just see what people think about it? That was my first reason. The second reason was because, I'm going to school for engineering. If someone like looks up my name, they can see, oh, he builds all these, because I always wanted to build coasters in real life. So like, this is my portfolio, so to say. And I uploaded the first video, and it got like, right now it's 513, which was pretty impressive for me, considering I was just MIA for 5 years.
Yeah, I remember I was just sitting there, and I was just sitting there one day, and next thing you know, I just see Gabe Markley posted a video. I'm like, what the hell? And then I looked at it, I'm like, holy shit, am I dreaming here?
Yeah, I built like 2 coasters, and it was a school night, and I was just like, I should upload this. So I uploaded the one, and then like 3 days later, I uploaded another one, and then a week later, I uploaded another one, and then a week later, I uploaded a Wacky Shack POV, because I was like, throw something else in there. And then ever since, like, I think now I've posted like 15 roller coasters. I got another one coming Wednesday, and another one coming. So it's like they're lined up now, and it's like I'm not making a schedule, but like,
whenever you get done with the projects.
Really well. Yeah, and I've gained 50 subscribers since I've come back, which is, I'll take it.
More so, no offense, more so than you ever did back in the old days.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I was doing this since 2016, and the most I could get was 160. The fact that I'm over 200 now in just a couple months, I'm like, maybe this is my niche.
And your description, it just comes full circle. It just says, just here to have fun.
Yes, just here to have fun. That's why I'm like, there's no rhyme or reason to it. Whatever I upload. There's no schedule. I'm just here to have fun.
Whenever it's best convenient, put it out there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So, that's kind of a good niche, because now we kind of get into the rough patch, and this is another contributing, at least in the ICJ timeline, 2020. So get ready for this. This is a rough one. The split. How did this affect the YouTube relationship that was built in previous years? It basically was, it all come crashing down. All hell breaks loose. Not just COVID, but everything. Just everything. The friendship, everything. Jared and I just be gone.
You know, it happened so quick. There was like, I remember, well, like, you know, coming back off of like the 2019. Obviously, at this time, my channel was done for a couple months now, and I wasn't doing any of that. But like I said previously, you know, I was dealing with heartbreaks and stress of other like life things, and I think a lot of that was just reflecting onto my friends. I guess I was becoming a lot more intolerable to be around.
Yeah, and the smoking part that didn't fly well with any of us. And then you kind of just said, if you don't like this, get the fuck out.
Pretty much. You know, more background, honestly. I could go start way back at my birth at this point. But like,
oh, God.
You know, I went to it was a Catholic private school, and it was all boys, and they did like random drug tests, and it was a good school. It was one of the best in the area, or is one of the best in the area. But there was a lot of rebellious teenagers, especially when you put a lot of boys in the same class that are hitting puberty and growing up. Sometimes it doesn't mix well. And one of my classmates died at the time that I played hockey with, and there was just a lot of life going on. And I remember I was playing hockey and I got a concussion, and then I don't even remember what happened. Just people, everyone around me was smoking these dab pens, and so they got me into it, and it just kind of like took over my life. Especially with COVID, there was nothing to do, and that's what I was so angry with, like the government. I was so angry with life. I was so angry with school. I'd honestly say I was just depressed. Like I was having a early life crisis, so to say, and I think
you had an early life crisis at 17.
Yeah, and I did. I really just kind of I shut myself off from a lot of people. I spent most of that year in my room. My friends, my longtime friend Sloth, or Devin, I know you know him, and Jay, but he went to the military. The friend group was just falling apart at the time.
Yeah, and then
not even just
Jared and I got into drama, and then that split us for over a year. Us for over 2 years.
And even besides the drama that was going on in this friend group with me, you, and Jared, then I was also having drama in my other friend group with my other friends. So, and I was also kind of having trouble with my brother at the time. I think that was around the time where he moved out. And it was just like, there's a lot going on. And yeah, I remember just giving up on all of it. And then I got in it honestly didn't take me until maybe junior year of college to get out of that rut. But now I feel like I'm good.
Yeah, because I was in that rut for quite a long time, and I mean, I'm not going to get super, super personal on here, but yeah, just had I made some other choices, I probably wouldn't be speaking today, but I'm glad things kind of just eventually solved itself. Yeah, a lot of it is, you know, the human aspect of it. I mean, if you're really struggling, we encourage you to get some help. Obviously, that's set in stone, but we didn't know it at the time. And again, this was during COVID, and nothing was going right. The world was just on lockdown. You couldn't really do anything without. It kind of felt like a weird version of 1984.
Nothing is worth losing your friends over, and I think, like Jay said, you know, there is a lot of political tension being 2020 with the the election and whatnot. Beyond just the political, there's just so much, like, I know, just being at home all the time, being locked inside, not having school, getting stripped of my senior year graduation and stuff like that, because I was the class of 2021, but even things didn't start to get normal until after I graduated.
Yeah, and I nearly failed out of college. I had troubles with my dad too. That I still have not resolved and don't plan on, but again, that's personal. But there were things that were just beyond our control that just happened, and then just everything spelled into everything else, and kind of just And again, we're not going to get political with anything, but it's just everything crashed and burned. I mean, looking back at it now, I shouldn't have reacted the way I did.
Oh, me neither.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, I mean, I remember I was sitting in the kitchen of my dorm, and I'm like, this is the way it's going. I mean, now looking at it, I just felt like a dick. I felt like this was a petty way to react to it.
Rather than hiding it, I should have kind of came out to you guys initially.
But yeah, we didn't treat it that way.
But I think I was just immature. I was immature, and I think, now I've learned a lot, and a lot of life has happened since then, and yeah, I'm glad things have worked out now, obviously.
And which actually leads to my next question, actually. You kind of just segued in. So, in 2022, out of nowhere, it came back. How did it feel to come back with a warm welcome with that, and how did that shape to the modern friendship we have today?
I think at that point, being dudes, we don't hold on to grudges, and we just, we're over the pettiness at that point. I think we looked over it, I think we looked past it, and I think we had something, at least it brought back a memory that we had something good going, so it's maybe not bring it back to what it was, but at least we can be friends again.
Yeah, and we can at least stabilize and then just keep going in a different direction.
Yeah. And obviously Jared has moved.
But yeah, it was kind of just let's just put this to the side and just restart.
This was I think the first official video we're doing together since then, but it's I've still been keeping up with your channel, and
and I still keep up with your No Limits content. I mean, I'm still in connection with you. We still talk every once in a while. Two different paths, but one similar goal. All right, so next question here. We kept mentioning this trio thing. So, before, you might know my slew cast of characters I had over the years. Some that I still talk to, some I don't anymore. But me, you, and Jared were considered the original Waldemir trio. Why did this trio stick for this long, and how is the connection today?
Even though, as just like we said previously, it's been a while since we've actually done anything on the channels related to each other, I still think that we're each the foundation of each other's channel. At the end of the day, it was us three that started this, and I think that carries a special place in my heart. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but it's I don't know. It's a weird feeling. I feel like we learned a lot from each other, and obviously some of that knowledge we still use to this day. And I think that even though we went separate ways at one point, I think we still had a huge impact on each other's channels.
And in our personal lives, too.
Yeah, and personal lives, so you can't forget that at the end of the day. No matter
the reason why we were brought here together was over one unified subject, and that was a park we loved growing up.
Yeah.
And
we were just fortunate enough to live together.
And I don't know if you knew this, but Jared came into town last June for the ACE event that Waldemir had. I remember that exact moment, spending the day with Jared, and it just felt like it just felt like the old times again. Sure, we're at the ACE event and we're touring, the underside of RF2 and doing ERT, but it just felt...
What a better place to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's no place you'd rather be, but at the same time, it's this is where it all started.
Exactly, and that's why it's I haven't seen him... I've talked here and there, but I haven't seen him in quite some time, so it's I keep telling him next time he comes into town, especially if we all three could get together, then...
That would be awesome. That'd be the big reunion.
Yeah.
I mean, at least for all of us. I mean, I don't know what fans of yours are still sticking from 2016, but I know some of mine would very like to see that. It'd be like the Marvel Cinematic Universe big crossover that everyone's waiting for. Whatever park relics you have, cherish those. Question 8. What influenced you to return to YouTube, and why specifically No Limits content? Was it a trend or a passion project? So let's look at that first bit. What inspired you to return, and why No Limits?
I believe I mentioned this prior, but I'm going to school for mechanical engineering, so it's like I like the mechanics behind roller coasters and how they're built, and I've always wanted to build them myself one day. And I think No Limits is the closest thing I could get to being at home to being an actual roller coaster engineer. Being in college for engineering, I've done a lot of like CAD modeling. I'm doing like a lot of 3D printing. I have a big senior project right now where my whole part in it is just the model stuff, built like a gearbox and stuff. So I've gotten real used to just using softwares like No Limits. So I feel I'm not great at it by any means, like far from the best. But I feel like I've gotten a lot better to where I'm comfortable actually posting stuff now and feel like it's actually good. And I could think of one specific YouTuber, Cart Cody, I believe I mentioned him prior, but like I say, he's done a lot of No Limit streams. He's kind of been busy, but so he wasn't as active on his channel, but he started uploading a lot more coasters again, especially using the FVD program. And I used to watch all of his streams even after he uploaded them. Like, I just watched the whole things and just see, like, get little tips and tricks on how he would build his coasters and make mine a lot smoother and whatnot. And then I decided I wanted to stream too because it looked like a lot of fun. So I started streaming, and he actually joined into one of my streams and introduced himself. I told him he was a big inspiration, and it was actually really cool to have him join. But yeah, I mean, that was kind of why I got back into it, which is because I think No Limits is the most realistic game you have right now to actual real life roller coasters. So I like the just the look of the game, honestly. Like, Planet Coaster is charming. RCT3 or RCT is just like nostalgic, but I think No Limits is the best at actually showing the actual like forces and whatnot of an actual coaster.
It's very hands-on, and you can do pretty much anything you desire.
There's no limits. Exactly. So
it's in the name, Bread fans. It's in the name. Mm-hmm. I mean, I personally haven't really used No Limits that much. I don't really see that in me. I just like the creative aspect of like Planet Coaster or something.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Planet Coaster 2 is flawed right now because it has a lot of bugs, so I haven't been really touching it. But if you even look at it like the older games, like RCT3, for example, that's just classic stuff right there. And I just sometimes, at least in my opinion, I mean, you're a different way, but for me, less is more.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I kind of prefer like a little linear thing, but I understand more of like a 3D aspect in No Limits. You want to see it, you want to feel it, you want to use your senses.
Yeah, and you know, to go on, like, so many people are like that, where they just like roller coasters and they just want to build one right now. Like, right here, right now, don't want to have to put that much effort into it to make it look good. And that's where Planet Coaster is, like, really strong at what it does. Because you can make things look good in a very short amount of time. And it's, like, anyone can do it. Like, anyone can build a coaster on Planet Coaster. No Limits, on the other hand, you have to have some sort of, like, understanding of physics and how things work and why things work and forces and how to get things like really smooth, and it takes time. Like, some coasters I can get done in 3 hours, some take me 2-3 days. So it's like you can really go into depth if you want to. So and that's where I've always been a big detail kind of guy. Like, even my Planet Coaster parks, I zoom in on every little detail. I want everything to look super realistic. So I think No Limits is just the best game out there for me when I'm trying to get that sort of style. But if I'm trying to relax, then yeah, Planet Coaster is always fun to play.
So in theory, you have a surplus amount of content to go through, and you don't run out of ideas.
Exactly, you can always make something different, and a lot of actual engineers use programs like No Limits when they're designing coasters for real life. Like they'll go out, survey the land, they'll get that land inside of a program like this, and then like they can map out the high points and low points, and then they have their canvas, and then they use a program like No Limits to build around it, and then it shows you like the forces, like like here it shows you the forces to the 10th of a decimal point, which is pretty, like...
That's pretty damn cool.
Can't get... Yeah, it's pretty, like, it'll say negative 1.42 Gs, and it's like, oh, that's pretty intense airtime. So it's... You can really, like, zone in and focus on that stuff. Like, yeah, if I want to make this airtime hill a little bit less intense, then I can do that, or a little bit more, I can do that, or... You can really dial in on that kind of stuff, which I've always been interested in.
And here's a cool thing that I've noticed that I failed to tell you. Even if you don't like a project, and it's not getting anywhere, you're just saying in this mind, fuck this, I'm not getting anywhere with this project. You can always start something new.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think the last stream I did before, like, my month or so that I didn't upload anything, I think it was like a RMC, and I built like half of it, and I was just like, I ended the stream and I haven't touched that coaster. Just like one of the 50 that are just unfinished. I didn't like it. I felt like from the beginning I didn't like it. And there's some coasters you can feel that are like, oh, I have a feeling this is gonna look really good. Or there's other ones that you start building and it's like, nah, I'm not liking this. And it's alright to quit. If you're not liking it, stop and start something else, because at least you're practicing. Like any coaster you built, you're practicing. I mean, I just started uploading these. I started playing No Limits in 2016. I'm finally getting to a point where I feel comfortable uploading. Like, that's years, damn near 10 years of practice. Like,
Damn.
It's not something that's just overnight. It does. Like, people who are in the No Limits, and that's why I haven't gotten to FVD, is because, like, now that I know No Limits, why am I gonna give up on it and go to FVD? FVD obviously is a lot easier in terms of making things smooth, but I don't mind the whole hand building aspect of it, so...
Sometimes being old school and doing it manually is a lot better than letting a program do it for you. I mean, there are advantages for programs to do it automatically, but...
Exactly.
It's just,
I feel like a lot
it's
of
just based on your needs. It's based on your needs.
Yeah.
This might be this might be cringe, but this is a fun one. I went back to your archives and looked at pretty much what I feel is the most important video in your channel history. Waldemir versus Dorney. First of all, why was Waldemir versus Dorney made?
Well, that was Bill Lamez, who we've actually just got in touch again recently, too. We started talking again. Just a little bit, but he came up with the idea of it. Well, let me back up a little bit. This guy named Bill, he is from like Allentown, PA, which is where Dorney is located. And he comes to Erie often, just to vacation. He likes to come to Presque Isle and Waldemir and whatnot. And he's found a couple of my GoPro videos, and he thought it was real interesting how, I was able to film POVs there. So he got in touch with me and started talking. He became a big fan, and then we started talking like over Skype and whatnot, and he came up with, and he had a YouTube channel too, which he uploaded some Dorney content to. And he came up with the idea of doing like a video where we just filmed the parks, and we called it a battle, but it was more or less just a promotion of the two parks. Because they're two PA parks. We knew people who were like, I could represent Waldemir, he could represent Dorney, so it was just like, sure, why not? And so over, I think the last weekend, Labor Day weekend, I filmed Waldemir versus Dorney, and I filmed my version, and then he filmed his version at Dorney, and he did a little whole weekend thing. And then we just like let the viewers decide which part they like better. And I think Dorney won by just a hair. It was like really,
I remember
really
16-year-old me was on the edge of my seat when I saw that.
It was like I didn't expect it to get that much traction, but it did. It came down to like pretty much the deadline for the voting to close, and Dorney won by just a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it was interesting. Like, obviously, Dorney is a better park than Waldameer if you're a thrill seeker. But
I mean, yeah, looking at face value, yes.
Yeah, but like it was creative, and we thought about doing a rematch, which we never actually
I made the
did,
trailer,
but,
and then it never happened.
Yeah, which I really liked that trailer. I've watched it a couple times again, and I wish it did kind of work out because that trailer was pretty dope. But yeah, that was the story behind that pretty much.
And what's kind of funny is that I kind of saw this. I mean, I hate to shove my own history into it, but I kind of saw this at face value, and I'm like, damn, I want to try something like this too. And that eventually became W3.
Yeah.
That
exactly.
cringe movie to say that...
Which I loved at the time.
I mean, that blew up at my high school too, by the way. I got some fame there.
Yeah.
But
I remember you talking about that.
W3 was my response to Waldameer versus Dorney. And I had this whole convoluted storyline, and I mean, it was shit. Let's just be honest. I
died. You killed me, you bastard.
I mean, fuck you too. Yeah, you died on you died at Busch Gardens. Jared died out of thin air. Yeah, you died, Jared died, and then next thing you know, I'm fighting an invisible clown with fucking band instruments. Yeah. I mean, there was no convoluted story. I mean, looking at it now, it was just like amateur project that just didn't go anywhere.
I liked it.
I tried to make a story.
It's one of those if you know you know things. Like
if
you didn't know the backstory behind a friend group, then it's like it just whatever. But like I liked it. I thought it was very well done.
I mean, the only thing that still stands from W3 that's still popular is the whole Charlie Cox lore. People still talk about it to this day, and I still expand on that story from time to time because people know Charlie Cox because of W3. And instead of they think of the clown, they think, okay, he's going to go kill somebody. And here's a question. Was this your magnum opus or like your signature video that represented you?
I wouldn't say I was ever unsatisfied with Waldameer versus Dorney, but to me, it wasn't anything different than what I've done before, really. Like, it was a mixture of cinematic clips messed with some POVs, and it was just like a longer version of that. So to me, it
just felt like a vlog.
It felt like a normal video. It was cool, the competition aspect of that, like, at the time, but now that that's faded away and the video is just here to stay, I hate to think that that's my forefront video.
Rounding out the podcast here, and this ends on a pretty optimistic note. What are your future goals, and how can your past work, per se, be part of your current goal?
Well, I'm looking forward to graduating this May. That's where my main focus is right now. I want to look to get into certain jobs. I keep getting asked, like, what would I want to go to, what would I want to work for, or whatnot. I'm still looking, like, because, I know my first engineering job isn't going to be the one I want to stay at, and I've really, from being a young lad, I've always been into coasters, so I would love to work, like, designing coasters, or, like, something like Gravity Group. I know they're based in Cincinnati, or even aerospace, stuff like that, but, like, in terms of, if I want to really go down the coaster route, like, I've followed some engineers on LinkedIn. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's one of the engineers at Gravity Group. He's done a lot of videos, like, explaining, like, sitting in front of Mystic Timbers and whatnot, like, talking about different coasters, because they're down in Cincinnati, so they've worked a lot with Kings Island. And so I followed him, and I kind of want to get in touch to ask him, like, what do I need to do to because it's a small industry. There's not a lot of people. Like, I think Gravity Group maybe has 20 engineers. So they're not just going to take a college student right off the bat. So that's why I kind of want to work on these No Limits videos, kind of build a fan base. And I think I want to use these No Limit videos, like I said, as a portfolio to kind of just show, like, oh, you can look back, see this is my progress from so-and-so years ago. And then it shows you, like, the coasters that I built. And if a future employer looks at my name and, like, sees these coasters, then they can think, oh, maybe that, like, that's actually kind of impressive to know, especially if they want to design coasters like that actually have some sort of experience doing it. I think would help me, and then especially having a mechanical engineering degree would just help me a little better.
So that'll wrap up my podcast episode here with Mr. Gabe Markley. So thank you for joining this podcast today. I had a huge pleasure with you talking about stuff. It just felt like the good old times again. It just felt like an escape from reality and into what was once there.
Hopefully we can do it again, because yeah, it did. It was like a trip down memory lane.
If you want to go follow Markley's awesome No Limits creations one final time, remind you where you can find it.
Yeah, you guys can go on YouTube, search up Gabe Markley. It's a capital G and capital M. I'm sure it'll pop right up. But yeah, I'd appreciate if you guys go check it out. I try and upload roughly once a week, but obviously I might miss a week or two here and there. But
and again, that's life.
Been relatively consistent. Yeah, that's just life. Remember, in school, working, guys. Also try and stream at least once every now and then. So if you guys, usually it's on a Friday or Saturday night. Usually starting around 8 o'clock. So if you guys are ever around, ever have a weekend off and you're just sitting at home and want to come join me, we usually have a lot of fun in those. So
yeah, and videos will come whenever I get to my stuff, because right now we're in the off season for amusement parks and I do not plan on anything to at least March. So you're gonna have to stay tuned to what I have planned. So this will conclude the third episode of Right on Track, and hopefully we'll have another guest on very soon. Thank you so much, Mr. Gilbert221. For nostalgia's sake.
Thank you, Mr. Cedar Palick.
Going back old school here. And we'll see you guys in the parks very soon. Lux Eterna, Inamorata from Zero.